Hello. The other day, we spoke about how a museum in Seattle is trying to demystify NFTs for the general public. But what happens when the artists don't understand what's going on? Well, an art fair here in Istanbul is trying to help creators get a better handle on crypto art. Esra talked to a few of them and sent us this story.
Emin Mete Erdoğan may be a contemporary artist, but he needed a little prodding by the Novruz Academy to jump on the NFT bandwagon. It's how one of his old paintings went from this to this. He says he's pleased with the result, but admits that he had a hard time getting it. And while he's still no NFT expert, he has a better appreciation for its relevancy.
I see NFTs as the result of digitalization, developments in science and philosophy. There's no magic in it, because it's not the format that matters. Just as Renaissance artists did what their time required, we're doing what needs to be done in Turkey in 2022.
While Erdoğan is drinking the NFT Kool-Aid, Onur Haztürk is like, no way. His Turkish miniatures and illumination art are 100% analog. He's inspired by historic Ottoman manuscripts, although he does mix in some contemporary elements.
I feel that humanity has lost the meaning of its own words. I'm actually trying to make people stop for a moment and think and feel in this bustling life where the notion of time is blurred.
Contemporary Istanbul has been around for nearly 2 decades. First as an international event, and now as a boutique Turkish version. And that's because local demand is on the rise. There are so many first-time pieces at the event. So fresh that this painting by Yusuf Aygeç hadn't even completely dried. And while he's 33 years old, he admits to being old school with no interest in digitalizing his work.
My idea of art is a way of resistance to the world of meta. You have to use the existing technology, but I do not find NFTs suitable for production on my part. I accept, I understand, and I think about it, but I don't want to do it.
It may be sage advice, even from a young artist. While there's been an NFT boom, many analysts say a bust is imminent. That's even as the market grows into the tens of billions of dollars. A pie that many Turkish artists wouldn't mind grabbing a slice of. Esra Dürüst, TRT World.
I'm now joined by the chairman of Contemporary Istanbul, Ali Güreli. Hi there, very good to have you with us today. So now, as a 2-decade-old established art fair, you have a focus on NFTs this year with this new project called Bloom. It seems to me that the conventional contemporary art world as we know it is warming up to the idea of crypto art at a very high pace, isn't it?
Well, actually, we do focus on, but at the same time, we are very careful and we are following and carefully investigating and searching about what's going on in this world. So we are not yet in the commercial part of it, and we don't even know if we're going to get into commercial relations in this NFT world, because there are many uncertain points in this movement, in this development. But of course, art will be one of the, or maybe the key aspects of the NFT world, because I mean, art is representing and represents the uniqueness in this world. A unique artwork is so. NFT version, will it work? Will it be worth it? We know that many people are paying so much amount of money, but is it right? Is it the right thing to do? So basically, in this new CI Bloom version edition, we are in a bit we are educating the people. We are trying to educate the people. That I must say honestly that we are even educating ourselves. We need to learn more. We need to have more knowledge about this movement, this development on the world. But uh, maybe in about a year time, maybe shorter than that, we will be involved in it much more seriously. Maybe I say always maybe. That is the way we see this NFT. But so we what we did, we invited 15 of the collectors, international and national, and we chose the two NFTs from their collection. Now a valuable NFT exhibition with more than 20 samples, and at the same time, now it's going
Yeah.
on now. We are organizing a conference with many keynote speakers from all around the world, from the major key players in this NFT world.
I want to ask you about what you found out along the way, because you said that you're educating people, but also you're educating yourself about NFTs and crypto
Yeah.
art. So tell us, Ali Gureli, who has been a key player in Turkish contemporary art scene for some time now, what have you found out along the way?
I see that there's a big interest especially from the younger people. They want to be in this business. They want to be in this NFT world. But what our role, of course, as being one of the key players in this market, in the art market, we have to make them aware of what they're doing. We have to make them be careful in this world. So this is where we are. I cannot say that we did find out this because it's too early. I mean, in my opinion, it's too early to talk about very clear and neat sentences.
Okay. Well, we don't have much time left, but I wanna move forward to talking about art fairs and the pandemic a little bit. Until 2019, much of the sales were done through art fairs, and then the pandemic happened and online sales boomed. Now, where does this put art fairs, and where do you see the future of traditional physical art fairs?
Well, it's coming back in 2020. There was a loss in the market, naturally, as you said, in online and auction houses had more business. In this was the reason because they were selling online. But now in 2021, the market almost came to the level of 2019, even exceeded a bit to 3%. So I see that especially this year and the coming year, the market will grow, and I think that the prices, I see that not the prices will go up tremendously, but well, there will be more people involved as collectors in the art market, and there are mainly, especially young people, young collectors are coming, and also young artists are also in the market. So in a way, there will be a growth, a vertical growth in the market. More people will be in the market in the coming months and coming years. This is I see it very positive.
You said that young people are into NFTs a lot more than older generation of collectors.
Yes.
So now that you said you'll see more younger people in the industry, does this mean that there is going to be a lot more investment in NFTs? Is that what you're hinting at?
I think so. Yes, I think so. Whenever people will be more knowledgeable, whenever people will have more information about this new world, then they will continue and they will invest more money. That's for sure.
And do you
There's a
think,
lack of knowledge, but there's also a lack of regulations. Also, I mean, legally, we have to be more confident. The insurance system, which we should work more clearly. So there are lots of improvements that we need in the near future. Whenever we will come to that level, there will be the investment will be higher as well, naturally.
all right then, it was very good to have you with us today. Thanks so much, Ali Gureli, for being with us.
Thank you, Eli. Thank you very much.
So, our NFT coverage went from Seattle to Istanbul and now to New York. And it's a venture with renowned Japanese pop artist Takashi Murakami.
Oh. Oh. Is it?
I have had my own studio in New York for a long time. Without my experience here, I could not make it as a modern artist. New York is not only important but indispensable. But what I create always has the theme of Japan, so I created this roadmap as a bridge of these two cultures. The title of the show is An Arrow Through History. These are NFT art pieces, but many people still do not now understand NFTs. They are suspicious of the value and prices.
Back in the early 2000s, Sam Raimi broke box office records with Spider-Man. Now, as we near a post-pandemic world, he's doing it again with Doctor Strange. Alican has this story.
Wanda, what do you know about the multiverse?
Viz had his theories.
Marvel's favorite magician is back, traveling between alternate realities. This time to fight the Scarlet Witch, Wanda Maximoff. So far, what makes the multiverse of madness so, well, strange is that it has a distinct directorial voice. Something other Marvel properties lack, according to the critics. In this case, Sam Raimi blends his love of scary atmospheres with his trademark goofy humor. As CGI is not driving this ride. Instead, Raimi recreates the original comic's psychedelic art by using some pretty gnarly camera angles. And this comic book weirdness helped make the movie a box office success during its opening weekend.
Don't do it, Goblin!
Raimi is no stranger to this kind of fanfare, pun intended. He's owned the superhero genre for the past 20 years. Starting with 2002's Spider-Man. That movie was a solid recipe of high-flying cinematography that actually made sense, along with a loyalty to Stan Lee's characters. Spidey's 21st century cinematic debut went on to become the first movie to earn more than $100 million in a single weekend. Doctor Strange, in the meantime, brought in $187 million. Also strange is Raimi's relationship with Marvel, a company which tends to be avoided by auteur directors. John Landis, who turned down Thor, complained that Marvel executives don't allow filmmakers to apply their own ideas for story or character development. But somehow, Raimi has been an exception. And he in turn has given Marvel's parent company, Disney, its best box office performance during the pandemic. It could mean that Sam Raimi might be shaping the future of superhero movies once again.
Forget the multiverse of madness. Film duo Daniel Kwan and Daniel Scheinert want to show you everything everywhere all at once. It's an adventure that touches all the senses across multiple universes. Here's Jack.
Mrs. Wang. Mrs. Wang.
Mrs. Wang, are you with us?
I am paying attention.
This is not your typical movie about an interdimensional rupture.
What's happening?
This is an action movie in which there is no villain. The villain is existence. The villain is a, unloving universe.
Everything, Everywhere, All at Once stars Michelle Yeoh as laundromat owner Evelyn Wang. Her big problem is connecting to her family and paying the tax man.
Now you may only see a
The fact that includes interdimensional travel was a bigger issue for the directors.
The multiverse is such a terrible thing to explore in narrative or in film, because the moment you introduce the idea of infinite possibilities, nothing that happens in this movie matters anymore.
Director Daniel Kwan thought it was actually funny to take on this challenge head on. Overall, the critics say Kwan and Daniel Schneider have conquered their fears, with one calling the movie the definition of a masterpiece, and another saying that while the movie looks like a sci-fi thriller, at its core, it's a relationship story between a mother and her daughter.
The universe.
Throw in some stunning visuals and acting that the fans have been praising online, and Marvel needs to watch out, because it seems Doctor Strange has some real competition in the storytelling department.
Most wouldn't consider a new paint job on a car to be art, but the Swiss say they've figured it out. Of course, they'd come up with something that requires a bunch of moving parts. In this case, a robot, new printer tech, and an 8-year-old artistic prodigy.
It was such an incredible feeling. Initially, I could not believe a robot was painting an artwork, first time ever, and it wasn't just any artwork, it was my artwork.
With existing solutions, only about 70% of paint ends up in the car, wasting significant resources. And that's before you even consider personalized options. Pixel paint is a faster, more efficient, and more flexible solution that streamlines personalization of manufacturing.
If you take a base car, it's very likely that base car is not going to make very much money for the manufacturer. But once you add all the options and all the goodies and the features that customers want, that's when it starts to make some profit.
Ghana is famous for its hand-painted movie posters, a practice that grew popular in the country back in the late 1970s and has found a new audience today.
Daniel Anum Jasper started painting movie posters more than 30 years ago. That's when this trend kicked off in Ghana out of desperation. How so? Well, back then there were mobile cinema businesses, but they didn't have movie posters to attract viewers. So Jasper and other artists stepped in. They started painting them on, well, flour sacks. And the good part was they could create the posters just as they wished, with sometimes even very exaggerated features. But today, the artists have canvases, and any image is just a click away. Also, over the past 10 years, the practice has become more popular than ever.
I'm interested, I can swan in that.
The international community has become interested in local, hand-painted posters from Africa, after people came and bought our old posters from us and introduced them to the international art world. They were fascinated by how we infuse our own imaginations into these posters.
Commissioned works can cost up to $600. As for rare pieces from the 80s, collectors have paid more than $50,000 for them in the past. The problem is, there aren't many artists doing this now. That's why Jasper feels he needs to pass on the baton to a younger generation, as the global demand keeps growing.
Even though there isn't that competitive atmosphere that there used to be, we're happy. International demand has given us the money to sustain our careers. So we teach the younger generation so that they too have something with which they can take care of themselves.
And for Joseph Oduro Frimpong, a pop culture anthropologist, the poster is more than just a poster. Yes, these pieces are a unique combination of the movie and the artist's creativity, but for him, the artists and buyers should also be aware that these posters represent an important part of Ghana's history.
Music lovers are flocking to concerts in record numbers this year. But while some are excited, other fans are not willing to face the music just yet.
This summer is certainly jam-packed, and there is just an abundance of tours. So really what we're seeing is kind of the emergence of the live events industry on the concert side really coming together, with so many tours being postponed in 2020 as well as 2021. We are officially surpassing what we've seen in this typical time in 2019, and a lot of excitement out there from concert goers and artists alike to really drive demand and reconnect with their fans.
Yeah, I went to the Luke Combs concert. It was in New York City, and it was crowded, and I would still go again.
I got out of the habit of it when everything was shut down, and I stopped going, and it's been kind of hard to get back into, paying a lot of money for a ticket and getting a day off of work and all that. So it seems like it's going to be a while before I can get back into the spirit of it.
Back in the 1950s, Brian Gysin invented the Dream Machine. He called it the first artwork experienced with closed eyes. Now, a group of artists, musicians, and scientists are radically reimagining it.
It's hard to explain what people see when they stand in front of Brian Gysin's Dream Machine. Some say blue and white speckles pop up behind their eyelids. Others describe an ever-expanding box. The device creates these patterns by hitting the viewer with an array of flickering lights. Now, more than 60 years after its invention, a group in the UK has come up with a new Dream Machine experience. It comes in two versions, either deep listening with gentle ambient lights or high sensory with a strobe.
And what's happening in the Dream Machine is that the light is in training with this natural alpha rhythm of the brain. It's also a rhythm that we tend to observe in the brain when people are feeling relaxed. And by doing this in ways that I have to say we still don't completely understand, that gives rise to these vivid visual experiences that people have.
As for the accompanying music, Grammy-nominated musician John Hopkins composed it.
So it was kind of composed in stereo, and then gradually over the last year we've mixed it in different spaces to more and more speakers, and now it's on 86 speakers in this space. So it's the most immersive possible sound.
Participants are later asked to fill out a questionnaire to describe how they felt and draw what they saw. Art critic Tabish Khan did it and called it a whole new experience for him.
And at times I felt very anxious. I could feel my heart beating loudly in my chest. Other times I felt quite blissed out. And it does vary between the two. Sometimes I felt very heavy sinking into my chair. Other times I felt weightless, like I was being lifted up. It's really strange, and I wasn't expecting that at all.
Geisen hoped his dream machine would replace the home television. He thought people would create their own cinematic experiences. But even with the updated version, Geisen's dream seems to remain just that.
That's it for this episode of Showcase. Our YouTube channel, Instagram and Twitter accounts have more from the world of arts and culture. I'm Nilüfer Hareketli. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.